Years ago, when I first started out in the wine business, one name was synonymous with salubrious sparkling wine from our shores, and that was Lebrun, Daniel Lebrun. But this was not how I expected to be getting a tour of his grapevines. So tell me about this truck. What is it?
It's a 1962 Mercedes Unimog.
How much do you think you've spent restoring it?
Probably eight or nine.
8 or 9,000.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I love it.
It's as good as new now.
Now, you come from 12 generations of champagne makers.
Well,
Is that right? Or are you the 12th generation?
rephrase it. 12 generations of vignerons in Champagne. My great-grandfather started making champagne, and it has been, the norm in the family ever since.
So why did you choose Marlborough?
I was convinced right from the start that New Zealand could produce a world-class sparkling wine. It has always been my aim, if you like, to produce something as good, if not better, than the real thing.
So did people think you were crazy?
I ended up with the nickname of the Crazy Frenchman. I believe one of the best matches for the #1 wines is fresh oysters.
How much pressure is inside that bottle?
About 6 bar.
To me, it smells like lemon.
Yeah, it's quite lemony, citrusy.
It kind of livens up your taste buds. It kicks
does.
them into action.
It does, firm acidity. With a bit of caviar, if you like.
Caviar on the oyster? Are you serious?
Yes.
Okay. Oh my gosh, that's so juicy. And then the wine just cleans it all up, doesn't
It
it?
does. To me, it's a real good match.
What does this remind you of when you're drinking this wine?
Vintage champagne. A great wine should be a bit like a spider, so many legs in so many different directions. So I'd like to think this is harmonious.
Okay. I'm liking harmonious as opposed to spider-like, but that's okay. It's all right. The other half of the Lebrun #1 family, right from the very beginning, has been Adele. She's been running the company and doing the marketing as well as raising a family, and so Daniel decided to make a tribute wine especially for her.
The very first Adele was 23 years ago, and I thought that was the one and only, but Daniel decided that perhaps my Diamond Jubilee deserved another one. So consequently,
The second version
the
of
diamonds.
Adele.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It smells incredible, like cashews and cream and lemon pith.
So this was actually released 3.5 years ago, going on 4 years ago. And to me, it was a little bit tight, a little bit young, unlike the person it was made for. And now we're developing nicely, thank you.
How did this journey begin?
Daniel always bites his fingernails when he's excited.
Okay.
And this is him when he first saw what you could do here. He brought in his varieties. He selected Chardonnay, Pinot Noir and Meunier. He chose his clones, grew them in the nursery, brought them down, and then because he planted them so close together, he had to have an overhead tractor, which he brought in from Champagne. And Daniel was so passionate about Marlborough being the champagne of the Antipodes. That's all he could think of. He's very obsessive, as you saw with the Unimog.
Such a good wine.
It's
You've got a
beautiful,
very
isn't it?
talented husband.
I know.
Don't tell him that. I won't say anything.
But he is. He's
Pretty clever.
He really can.
Hi, I'm Sam, and I'm the General Manager and a Director here at #1.
My name's Anthony Schroeder, and my job role, I have lots of jobs in the winery. One of my main jobs is engineer.
We've been here quite a while, haven't we, Ant?
A long time.
So we all become part of the family, don't we, Ant?
Certainly do.
Yeah.
Daniel and Adele's children, Remy and Virginie, both set out to forge careers outside of Fizz, and yet they've discovered their ties to their Champenoise roots run very deep. When did you kind of realise the sort of depth of history that the Lebrun family has with champagne?
The first record of a Lebrun making champagne in Champagne is 1684, so it's 332 years that it's been in the family on record.
That's incredible.
So, no pressure, right?
No. Whereabouts in Champagne is the village, the area that the family comes from?
So it's about 8 minutes outside of Épernay, and it's a village called Montlon. Papa still has vines there, so a small amount of vines we do. My favourite family heirloom is the old press. Our old press white is just incredible.
It's as manual as you can get.
Yeah, it's all iron and wood. Up on that top beam, when it was a particularly good year, it's written in chalk, in French, the year of the great wine. To lose it, I think, just would shatter my heart. So I don't ever want for that to happen. And so, how could we ever walk away or not come into the business and continue that?
For many, many years, I completely resisted it because I didn't like the idea of, I felt that I'd be piggybacking on our parents' success. It wasn't until July last year when we went over, and I saw it all firsthand. I saw, and I had this very profound, overwhelming sense of the family's history. Like, come washing over me and seeing it physically as an adult. No one was more surprised than myself after I was there. I came back and I sat our parents down and I was like, I'm going to put aside everything else. You've got me 100%.
Yeah.
And yeah, not a big surprise to the parents, but a big surprise to me because I didn't think I'd feel that way.
And he's made a bottle of wine each for you.
Yes.
For significant events in your life. What is that like?
So Cuvée Virginie, 80-20, Chardonnay Pinot Noir.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Really lifted sort of cashew and almond and lemon. There's stone fruit in there too. It is really rich, but it's very balanced and it's very buoyant. And Remy, you've got your own wine too. Tell us about it.
It was always going to be the brother wine to Virginie's one, so very much had a more masculine style than feminine style.
In blind competition up against champagnes, this has come up as appropriately #1.
Tiny, tiny little bubbles.
That's why he's an artist at what he does. A small part of it being the balance of yeast versus sugar and litres and all that kind of thing, and how long you leave it for, and the acidity.
Cheers to growing up, Lebrun.
These days, it's a rare thing for Daniel and Adele to have both children in the same country, let alone under the same roof. So when that happens, a feast is definitely on the cards.
Is everybody